Warm greetings to my dear students. I welcome you all to SST class. Today I'll be discussing two topics with you. That is the need of the Constitution and making of the Indian Constitution from the chapter Constitutional Design of Civics. What is a constitution? This is the first important thing which we all should know. See, in democracy, there are certain basic rules that the citizens and the government have to follow. And all such rules together, they are known as the Constitution. It is the supreme law of the land and it determines the rights of the citizens, the powers of the government, and how the government should function. Coming to the case of South Africa, we all know this that a policy of racial discrimination was followed in South Africa, and that discriminatory policy was known as apartheid. Under this apartheid, the minority community, who were the whites, they used tremendous atrocities on the majority community, who were black or the colored people. The black people, they were not allowed to enter the worship places or hospitals or colleges or restaurants or hotels where the white people used to come. So there was lot of discrimination. Finally, after much negotiation, after much struggle, and with the efforts of the Nelson Mandela, South Africa, it abandoned the policy of the apartheid. They formed a new constitution, and that constitution was meant to safeguard the interests of the common people, and whether those people they belong to majority community or the minority community. Constitution is actually required to safeguard the interests, the rights of the common people. It puts a limit on the powers of the government so that there is no violation of the fundamental rights of the people. Constitution is required to fulfill the tasks like it generates a degree of trust and coordination among people that is necessary for different kinds of people living together. For example, if we will take the case of India, here the majority community in India is Hindu and the minority communities are Sikh, Parsi, Christians or Muslims. We all are supposed to live in harmony with each other, because I know my Hindu friend or my Christian friend or my Sikh friend, she has same rights as do I have. So they are neither superior nor they are inferior to me, nor I am superior to them nor I am inferior to them. So constitution, it generates a degree of trust and coordination among the people, which is very much necessary for the different kinds of people living together, especially for the people who come from diverse backgrounds. Like there are many people who have different languages, different castes, different tribes. People come from different geographical locations. So constitution is very must. Number 2, constitution, it specifies how the government will be constituted and who will have the power to make decisions. Number 3, it lays down the limits to the powers of the government and also specifies the rights of the citizens. For example, Indian Constitution, it has given us the fundamental rights, and you all know that there are 6 fundamental rights. Earlier there were 7 fundamental rights, but the 7th one was deleted. Now there are 6 fundamental rights. It also expresses the aspirations of the people, creating a good society. Speaking on the topic now, making of the Indian Constitution. We all know that prior to 1947, India, it was ruled by Britishers. And when Britishers left India, what they did, they allowed the rulers of the princely states to either merge with India or Pakistan or remain independent. At that time, the constitution makers, they were highly anxious about the present and the future of the nation. The consensus of creating the Indian constitution, it had actually evolved during the freedom struggle. There were different views regarding what path India should take after independence. But some basic ideas, they were accepted by everyone. These basic ideas, they were pivotal in the formation of the Indian constitution. Then discussion on some important topics took place as well during that time. In 1928, Motilal Nehru and his other 8 congressmen, they drafted a constitution for India. At the Karachi session of the Indian National Congress in 1931, the leaders decided how the Indian constitution should look like or how it should be framed. Universal adult franchise, right to freedom and equality, right of minorities, etc. There were some important topics which were discussed. Some basic values were accepted by all the leaders much before the Constituent Assembly met to deliberate on the constitution. Then institutional evolution. In 1937, elections for the provincial legislatures and ministries were held all over the British India. The Indian Constitution adopted many institutional details and procedures from the colonial laws like the Government of India Act 1935. This Government of India Act 1935 is also known as the Instrument of Instructions. After years of thinking and discussion, our leaders, they got the confidence to learn from other countries, but on their own terms. Many of our leaders, they were inspired by the ideals of the French Revolution, the socialist revolution of the Russia, the practice of parliamentary democracy in Britain, and the Bill of Rights in US. Our constitution, Indian constitution, is also known as borrowed constitution. Why? Because the leaders at that time, they ransacked the constitution of about 60 countries. And finally, they framed a beautiful constitution for a diverse country like India. The Constituent Assembly, it played a major role because it was this assembly which framed the Constitution of India. The elections to the Constituent Assembly, they were held in July 1946 and its first meeting was held in December 1946. After the partition, the Constituent Assembly, it was divided into 2 Constituent Assemblies of India and Pakistan respectively. The Constituent Assembly that wrote the Indian Constitution consisted of 299 members and the Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26th November 1949. And finally, it came into effect on 26 Jan 1950. To mark this day, we celebrate 26 Jan as Republic Day every year. As far as the legitimacy of the Indian Constitution is concerned, the Constitution does not reflect only the view of its members alone, but it expresses a broad consensus of its time. Over the years, several groups have questioned some provisions of the Constitution. But till this time, no large social group or political party has ever questioned its legitimacy. This is an unusual achievement for the Indian Constitution on the world stage. Another reason for accepting the Constitution is that the Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. It couldn't be chosen directly by all the people as there was no adult franchise at that time. The Constituent Assembly was elected by the members of the existing provincial legislatures. This ensured a fair geographical share of members from all the regions of the country. Then, working of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly, it was dominated by the Indian National Congress which included a variety of political and regional groups of the people. Or in social terms, I can say the assembly, it represented members from different language groups, caste groups, classes, religions and occupations. Finally, the Constituent Assembly, it worked in a systematic, open and consensual manner, which gave the sacred quality to the Constitution. Drafting Committee and Constituent Assembly. First of all, some basic principles they were decided, and then a drafting committee under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussion. The discussion of the draft constitution took place clause by clause. The members of the drafting committee, they completed the work in 2 years, 11 months and 17 days. During this period, it held 11 sessions. More than 2,000 constitutional amendments were made. Every document presented and every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly at that time, that has been recorded and preserved. These are called as the Constituent Assembly debates, and they have been printed in 12 bulky volumes. These debates, they provide the rationale behind every provision of the Constitution and are used to interpret the meaning of the Constitution. I hope that my lecture is useful to you.